Yeah, that guy sucks, dude. Oliver Peck, I'm not a fan.
Okay, guys, send me to the bottom right now. Send me to the bottom with Chris, and I'll tattoo. I'll beat the heck out of him. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to interview Chris, May from season 3. I'm just waiting for Chris. Perfect. Can you hear me well?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I've done this before.
I know, right? That's fine. Take your time.
I have to turn you up. All right.
Can you hear me? Good?
Oh, yeah, yeah, very nice.
So what's up, Chris? How are you?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm good, I'm good. So why did you agree to do this chat with me?
It was like all this weird synchronicity stuff, just Ink Master things kept popping up. And then you asked, and I was like, might as well, because I've never actually like talked about it before. So
To answer the burning questions that I have.
I'll try my best.
Huh? You'll do your best?
Yeah, yeah.
The first question is, what made you audition for Ink Master?
Uh, well, oddly enough, I wonder if I can get rid of one of these things. There we go. Can't hear myself talk. I was
How?
I
Answer?
got called to do the show Tattoo Nightmares. Did you watch that one?
No, I haven't.
There was another Spike TV show where they were doing cover-ups,
Mm-hmm.
and I went out to L. They flew me out to LA for that, and it was down to like me and the guy they picked. I think his name was Gus, and then ultimately they didn't pick me because it was cheaper to work with the guy who lived like up the block than to fly this guy from Illinois. And so I was like, oh, well, whatever. And then not even like maybe 2 months later, I got a call and they said, hey, go to the Ink Master casting because we want to put you on there. But I had to go through all the motions and stuff. So that's how I ended up there.
Wow. And you're talking
Yeah.
about Tattoo Nightmares, right? And Big Gus,
Yeah.
also I forgot the other one, Tommy, right?
I think so. Yep.
Yes, I watched that show.
Yeah, that's the show. Yeah, I was supposed to do that one.
Yeah, it's really cool, doing cover-ups, watching it, and it's so cool. Like the final product of the tattoo in that show. Oh, it's so good. It's perfect.
Yeah, the flashbacks were pretty cringy though, or not the flashbacks, but the recreations were pretty like I don't know, pretty low rent.
And I actually love the story in Tattoo Nightmares, and how they got the tattoo on them, how they, the crazy
Yeah,
stories behind, how they got the crazy tattoo before the
yeah,
up. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Usually drunk.
By the way, how was it meeting the judges? Seeing the judges for the first time?
It was really weird. It was really impersonal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you almost felt like you were I don't know, just like on an assembly line, like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? You know, it was just kind of yeah, it really wasn't all that.
It's like
What I
transactional.
yeah, it wasn't what I thought it would be. That's for sure.
Ooh. Did you get like starstruck by the judges?
Oh no, no, not at all. That's not what I did. No,
No crappy things like that. You're just
no,
tattoos.
yeah.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Next is Ink Master roll call. Is where I say the name of everyone who is on your season, the talent, the cast,
Oh, okay.
and you will tell me the first thing that comes in your brain.
Oh, I'll try. I'll try to remember.
Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent.
I have to say, I can only pick those.
I mean, you can elaborate. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Are you ready, Chris?
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Okay. The first one is.
Frank, awesome, super cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hit it off with him probably the fastest and the best while I was there.
Yeah, it's cool. I was sad, you know, he was the first one to go, but it's a competition, right?
Yeah, he was just the victim of a bad choice. So it was that's what it usually ends up for everybody, I think. So
Exactly, especially for like the first eliminated contestant. You know,
yeah,
they don't have like a second chance to prove themselves.
yeah, and he was like a more traditional kind of tattoo artist, I guess.
Hmm.
And then his first tattoo, he's gonna do like this photorealism thing, and I was just like, if you can, I don't know you, but if you say you can do it, go ahead. But I was just like, "Ugh."
I guess it's
Not that
the.
I made better decisions.
And by the way, how was this one? How was this tattoo when you guys did a cover up for the prisoners, right?
Oh yeah, it was fun. That's the thing that gets left out about, what like why you do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy was he was kind of an odd duck, and he said that he wanted it's called a drop bear.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's a koala. It's like a chupacabra of Australia, I guess. It's like a koala, but they're disgusting. And he told me that he would take while he was on acid trips, he saw this koala creature in his room. And he'd seen some other weird drawings that I did. He's like, I want it really weird like that, and all like gross, like I like a lot of like old weird tattooers like Dave Lum from like the late 80s, early 90s. He did a lot of weird stuff like that. So I was like trying to emulate this like super weird shit, right? And yeah, it didn't work out so good with anybody. Everybody thinks it's terrible. I still like it though. I like how stupid it is. So
It's good. Yeah, look at that. It's cool. It's different.
yeah, it's not bad. I mean, there's obviously some things I would change, but
Uh-huh.
I
Wow.
actually hadn't slept at all. I was so nervous uh, that I stayed up all night, and
Hmm.
I finally got one of the assistants to run to the store and get me some of that Z-Quill stuff, and I took it and probably slept for maybe 45 minutes, and then we had to get up really early and go do those tattoos. So it was just like it
Wow.
wasn't a good way to kick it off.
Hmm. It's like, the energy, the adrenaline, you have to keep up. Yep.
Yeah, it was really weird.
And that's what, the other contestants are saying. The other contestants are saying that, you guys are not sleeping. You guys are,
Oh no, they give you an IKEA like kids bed, and
uh-huh.
I'm 6'6", so my feet were hanging off the edge of this bed like probably a foot, and it was just this tiny little like I felt like I was like a kid again, but as the size of Shrek. So
Wow. I can't imagine. I'm 5'11".
yeah,
So, yeah, sometimes, when I sleep in a small bed, it's hard, it's
oh yeah,
difficult.
it's terrible. Yeah,
Hmm.
when people would get kicked off, we would steal their beds and put them together to make super beds. Yeah, it's good. And
That's good.
I built a tent over it. It was
Uh-huh.
really nice, actually. After a while, it was nice, but at first it sucked. But
Uh-huh. When you get used to it, huh? I was like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
All you
Once
do
I
is,
built a fort, so
yep. But,
yeah,
I'm watching season one, and they had like their own bed, their own like room and stuff like that. It was a nice room that they had in
it
season.
seemed like it. Yeah,
Yeah, but as the season goes on, season 3, 4, 5, 6, the house becomes
yeah,
smaller and smaller, huh?
yeah. It was just like it was a big room that we all slept in.
Mm-hmm.
So you heard everybody snore and fart and all that stuff. So yeah,
Oh my god. What a
yeah.
pain.
The what?
What a pain in the neck, huh?
Yeah, 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 for
To
sure.
experience that, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The next one is
Mystical Mike.
Mystical Mike.
Yeah. Mystical Mike is actually, in his own way, a very awesome guy. He's weird, but he's actually super sweet. He actually stayed at my house after the show, he stayed with me for about a week at my house. And
Really?
yeah, I was converting my garage into a room,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in construction. And he slept out there on an air mattress, and he worked at my shop for like a week. So I got to know him like a lot better than on the show. Um, he is just as weird as you think he is, though.
On TV.
So yeah, he's that weird in real life,
Ooh. Well,
but he's a super sweetheart, though. Like he really is. Yeah,
ooh, that's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
Well, I thought it's just an edit, like they made him look like he was fighting everyone, or he was, mad at everyone.
yeah. I mean, I think he was just he was. I think he was more aware of what they wanted than like I was. I didn't know they wanted us to be douchebags or assholes or
Hmm.
stuff like that. I because when I got the gig, it was because they were really excited that I was a comedian and I went to Second City and all that stuff. So I thought like, oh, like, we're gonna have fun and joke around. But like
Hmm.
none of that stuff like aired as far as I was like as far as my guy was concerned. My guy.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
That's
it was annoying.
right.
Yeah.
They should have gave you more screen time.
Hey, whatever. I just wasn't the type of persona they wanted. Because the other thing too was I was being very. I thought it was a reality TV, so you were supposed to be like yourself.
Uh huh.
Unfortunately, that's not the case. Because I was myself. Like, I wouldn't do stuff that they wanted, like get into arguments. Because I mean,
Hmm.
at the time, I was 38, I think. Yeah,
Uh,
and you got these uh, production people telling you to like be a jerk, and they're like 20 something, and you're like, I'm grown. Like, I'm not gonna act like a douchebag because you asked me to. You know what I mean? That was like really hard to deal with.
it's hard to like play like a character on TV
Yeah,
because you
it's like I thought this
don't.
was supposed to be real. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Question mark. Is it real? Is it not real? Yep.
yeah, it's like a blend. It's a blend.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I
Yeah,
talked to Made Rich
yeah,
like a few weeks ago, and
yeah,
he told me that Mystical Mike. He met Mystical Mike, and he's still the same guy.
yeah. He's the same guy. Yeah, like he likes to look at himself in the mirror because he knows he's a hot dude.
Damn.
Yeah. 'Cause he is. He's a fucking hot dude. Like he,
Dude, right?
yeah,
And
he's
funny.
a hot dude.
Maybe he has his own OnlyFans or something.
He might, yeah. No, but he's really interesting. He's like just a character, and he travels around and like all the things I thought was bullshit about him when I met him were actually like true after I got to know him. And
Uh-huh.
I've done a couple conventions with him, and like I said, he came and worked at our shop, and yeah, he's actually pretty all right guy. So
Woo!
yeah,
Yeah, maybe he's really cool. A cool guy, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish
Uh,
I had the time to like spend more time with all the people that I meet in my life, but it's so hard to keep up with them. But I bet if I ran into them, we'd totally hang out like no big deal. So
mhm.
yeah, who's next?
Wait, I want to talk about this one.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
See it
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Um, I don't really know what to say about that. Like, okay, so
It looks good for me, in my opinion.
yeah, it's
It
once
looks
again,
fun.
it's weird. It's like stupid. And it was like, okay, so every challenge on that season for me was a complete like throwback to like the 90s, but not in a good way. It was all the shit I hated about the 90s because we had to do cover-ups, which yeah, that's commonplace even today. But we had to do like Celtic tattoos
Mm-hmm.
and fucking barcode tattoos and skin rips,
Uh-huh.
and at least while I was on there, and as soon as I like got kicked off, they got to do like rad shit, right? Um, So yeah, I didn't want to do a skin rip tattoo because I was like, these are stupid. And the guy was like, and I was like, oh, what if it was like poking out and it was all festering and gross, you know, like the wound was all gnarly and stuff. And he was all about it, you know, but like,
Huh?
it's just, once again, it was just a bad decision. Like if I just said, okay, here's a skin rip tattoo, it would have been easy, you know, but I was trying to, if I was to say I was taking advantage of that opportunity for any reason, was
Mm-hmm.
to was to get more customers that wanted to do something weird. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
thought it would be like, oh, this is a good opportunity to attract people that want to get weird tattoos or unique tattoos or just, you know, just different stuff. And it didn't work out that way. To where the judges are like, don't, you're not here
Uh-huh.
to do what you want. You're here to do what the canvas wants or whatever. And then you do what the canvas wants, and then they tell you, don't, you got to tell them what they should get, you know, stuff like that. So unfortunately with that tattoo though, it was this guy was weird and I was weird. So we're like, yeah, let's do something stupid and weird, you know? So that's how it ended up. And it, you know, it looks very abrupt because it's fresh. Because I, you know, the festeriness, I did blend it out. But like when they're brand new, they're just so glaringly separated from the skin, you know, like, yeah.
For me, it looks cool. Look at that. Look at that tattoo.
Yeah, it's
Looks
cool.
dope.
Yeah, it's silly, but it's cool.
Yeah. But it's hard though. This challenge with like the skin. Making it look
Yeah.
real and stuff for in 6 hours, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of times I was done like way ahead of time because I tattoo pretty quick. But I also tattoo like very traditionally,
Hmm.
in the sense of like fundamentally, I tattoo traditionally. I don't do like, you know, traditional tattoos a lot. I will, I love them, but I use the fundamental values of like solid lines and like the rule of threes, like one third black, one third color, one third open skin. Uh, I think that's important, you know, and I think that that's often looked over in this show and tattooing in general these days. But whatever, I don't know what I'm doing.
The next one is.
Oh, Maddie's awesome. Yeah, that's another awesome. I probably won't be talking much shit about anybody. She was
Mhm.
super sweet, and we got along really good. At the time, I smoked cigarettes, unfortunately, so we were like cigarette smoking buddies. And yeah, she's good. She's got that cute little Southern accent, and
Mhm.
um, yeah, she was like super, super awesome. And I will admit, at the time, I didn't think that she would do very well because her tattooing wasn't like very strong. But like now, I mean, shit, it has been 9 years since that happened. Like now she's like just a monster. She draws like everything on the skin and it's always like super rad and stuff. So yeah, yeah.
And I think she works with Clean now. Clean Rock One.
Oh, does she? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that.
I saw
I
her Instagram post the other day.
Yeah, I look at Instagram, but I don't look beyond the pictures. Like I don't, you know, I'm always like, oh, it's cool that she did that or whatever. So yeah,
hmm It's
yeah,
cool though, right? Yeah, and she looks
yeah.
gorgeous. It's like
Oh
long.
yeah, yeah, totally. Yep.
Mhm. She's very different. Hopefully, she comes back in future seasons of Ink Master.
Yeah, you never know. She'd probably be a force to be reckoned with these days, that's for sure.
Maybe a winner, right? In the future.
Hmm. I could see that easily. Yeah.
Yeah. How about this one? Any opinions on your Phoenix?
Oh, well, you know, that was one where, okay, this was after I was told, don't do what you want, do what the customer wants. And in this particular case, they were very insistent on it being black and gray, which
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh man, but it's a Phoenix, like, and it's color, and that's something I do really well. And they wanted it to look like a wood block print. You know what those are? Like the old wood cut like pictures. Like,
Like a bevel,
well,
almost.
not so much that like wood block woodcuts were like they would carve images into them to make like prints of things, and I was trying to like split the difference, the best I could. And I don't hate that tattoo. I think it's pretty cool for what it was. It just wasn't what I would have wanted to do for that particular challenge.
And
'Cause
sometimes, it depends on the um the canvas, what they want. You know what I mean?
right.
Sometimes fair, sometimes.
Well, I was really trying to push them to get more of like a Japanese style Phoenix, because they're awesome
Mm-hmm.
and they're fun and they're not like too complicated and like, I mean, they can be, but if you do your homework, it's fine. But yeah, it was just, so I was all wishy-washy, I'm like, oh, I have to do what they want because that's what the three guys told me to do, so.
The
And it
judges.
was, yeah, it was fucked up too because like that day we were doing those tattoos, two of them were hammered. They were just hammered off their ass because it was somebody's birthday. I don't remember whose. Maybe it was Chris Nunez's birthday. I don't remember.
Uh-huh.
But when they were walking around, they were all like, "Hey, what's going on in here?" Like they were, I was jealous. I was jealous because they were having a good time and I
Uh,
was not. I wasn't mad that they were drunk. I just thought it was funny. And then when they came in, he's like, "Oh, it looks like you're actually doing a phoenix," because I had the outline done and everything.
mm-hmm.
And I was just like, we'll see. And so yeah, I remember that. It was funny, and everybody got all pissed off that they were drunk. Where I didn't give a shit. I thought it was funny.
Wait, all of them are drunk? Like,
No, because I think Oliver is like he doesn't do any drugs or drink.
mm-hmm.
I remember that being a thing. I think it was like Nunez for sure was drunk, but I think it was his birthday. So hell yeah, get drunk.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I could say the same for Dave because we didn't really talk a lot. Like, yeah, yeah, he didn't like me at all.
He looks like he's, hard to read when he's drunk, Like you don't know if he's drunk or not. Because
Yeah, I wasn't totally sure, but like he
he's
just didn't he just
the
didn't
calm.
care for me much. That's for sure.
Woo, wow. We have the next one.
Oh yeah, what's that guy's name? I can't remember.
Danger.
Yeah, James Danger. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. That's one of those like personality type conflicts. Like he was very tenacious and he was a really good artist. Like he had paintings that were awesome,
Mm-hmm.
but he was also like just not my kind of like not my cup of tea, I should say.
Woo, elaborate.
Well, for one, he was wearing these fucking stupid armbands of cloth around his arms, and I didn't understand like what that was like.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tried to say that it was like because the production people told him to wear them, but it was just I don't know. It was like a lot of posturing and like puffy chest stuff and like flexing and grimacing and like I just don't get into that stuff at all. Like, yeah, yeah, I hate like masculinity. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a
Uh-huh.
dude through and through. Like, I do dude shit, but I don't put that out in the foreground and be like, I'm a dude. I know how to gut a fish and clean a weapon and stuff like that and work on a car. I do all those things, but
Like swag. Don't like swag.
yeah, that stuff I keep in the trunk, like for when I need to use it. I don't make it like my thing. Like,
Like in your face. Yep.
yeah, it was just, yeah, and it's not like he was a bad guy or nothing like that. It was just like, I just couldn't take him seriously, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because he was kind of hamming it up also, I thought, but whatever.
I see. I see. I can see that. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
you guys have like a different character in the house. There's like
yeah.
personality.
And he talked a lot about like fighting, like MMA and just all this like weird shit that I was just like, I could tell what it was, it was like posturing and letting you know, well, like, hey, this is the kind of guy I am and what I'm into. Where I was just like, I don't give a shit, you know, like I don't give a shit about that stuff. So yeah, I just think it's stupid, you know.
Wait, any opinions on, his canvas that, doesn't want to get tattooed by him?
Oh, she was a total asshole. Yeah, that person was a butthole for sure. Yeah. I don't think he was wrong. Do you need to get through? Oh, um, that's my son. I don't think he was wrong for not wanting to work with her, but they should have got him somebody else. I think. You think they'd have more people like as backups, but yeah.
I mean, he could tattoo himself, but then he decided not to, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he was like.
Are you going to work out? Oh,
and,
sorry. Yeah,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, good. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Did he tattoo himself?
No, he did not, because what happened is he was going to tattoo himself, but he doesn't want to remember that moment forever.
Oh yeah, that's a good point though. See, like I agree with that. You know.
Yep. So he decided not to tattoo himself. That's it.
Yeah. Like I said, like he wasn't my type of dude, but him bouncing out like that, I thought was pretty cool. I was like, that's pretty cool. So.
Yep. You gotta do what you do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The next one is.
Oh yeah, Allie. Yeah, she's awesome too. She was like super nice. And she's very different. Like she didn't get my humor. I'm absurd, and I think she's a little more literal. So yeah, I think like we're from two different places, but she was super nice, and once again, I bet if I ran into her, just out of the blue, we'd hit it off really well, See you later, buddy.
Bye-bye, son. Your son leaving now?
Yeah, he was going to the gym. And I'm in like the front room, and he had to sneak through. Yeah. So,
gotta, work on it.
Yeah, dude's got a body like Bruce Lee, man. He's like skinny, ripped guy. Pretty awesome. I'm jealous. I'm an old man, so I got a nice dad body going.
We're all getting old. We're gonna get old someday, all of us.
Yeah, how old are you?
You can guess.
I'm 31.
You got it.
No, you're lying.
Yes.
Are you really 31?
Yes.
All right. Hey, look at me. What do I get? Give me something. Now give me something.
You get a prize.
Give me a little kiss.
You get this one.
Oh, nice.
Opinion on this one?
That's a good tattoo. It's just a solid, nice tattoo. But I didn't want to do it either, though.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice tattoo. Is it blowing people's minds? No, but I was just playing it safe, and I think if I remember correctly, I missed a couple of like little tiny things that like were missing. Yeah, but I didn't hate that. I didn't hate that tattoo.
You hate it?
No, I just didn't. It's not what I wanted to do. I was drawing up something like pretty elaborate, and then Jimmy Litwalk said, "Don't do that, man. Do just a basic Celtic design." And I was like, "Maybe you're right," So I was easily led around, So I went on the safe side, because I had drawn this it was like a nice tree, and there was like Celtic stuff intermingling with it, and there was like some birds sitting in it, and it was more like an illustration with Celtic elements. But he's like, "No, just do like a Celtic tattoo." So I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I should just do a Celtic tattoo." And I don't think I got roasted too bad for that one at the time. Just a couple of like small errors was all.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of middle of the road, like not TV fancy pants type stuff.
Was it hard doing that tattoo? Because there's a
That
lot of
tattoo?
lines, there's a lot of
No,
shading.
no, it's pretty easy. It's kind of like mowing the yard, because you just rely on your technique at that point. Because that tattoo is in there, like no doubt about it. Um, yeah, it just wasn't very like inspiring and fun, and like I said, I was getting kind of down because I wanted to go there and like showboat the things I like, and
Uh-huh.
I never had an opportunity until the very end, which I'm sure we'll talk about. So
Yes, we will talk
yeah,
about that
yeah,
next one. But first is
yeah. Made Rich. He's a cool guy too.
he's a
He
cool guy.
was, yeah, he's a cool guy. He's like, he's one of those like hustler guys, like he's always promoting himself and things like that. Once again, not really kind of like the person I am, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I still enjoyed Made Rich's company actually. Um, yeah, he's just a good dude. He knows what he wants, and he's really driven, and um, he seems to be pretty successful, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, YouTube channel.
oh, he does?
It's called Think Before You Ink
Oh,
Tattoo.
yeah, that's the name of his shop too, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Yeah.
And he was like interviewing the canvases, different canvas, human canvas.
Yeah, that's another hot dude that was on the show. He's a hot dude
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Yep.
Yeah, he was really cool to talk to. We talked for like an hour, talk about
Oh, wow.
three. Yep,
That's awesome.
really cool. And he talked about season 9 too, because he was in season 9. Yep.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I never knew that. I didn't really I think I watched like some of the shows after I was on there, but then I
Mhm.
kind of just dropped off on it because it was just like I don't know, shitty memories, and I don't know, there's a little like PTSD with Ink Master for me,
Wait,
but
you
yeah.
say crappy memories? Why? Elaborate.
Um, well, just like some of the stuff that happened was almost like a living nightmare kind of deal. And and I went in there like knowing I'm a really good tattooer. I wouldn't say I was the best in the world at all, but I know like I'm not the best, but I'm trying to be one of the best kind of thing. And then to just get handed some shitty deals from time to time was, and then there's the gravity of knowing that like millions of people watch that show. So it's like, oh shit, like millions of people are gonna think I'm fucking whack or something. And so there was like that pressure. Yeah, I don't know how I can really elaborate more than like even now I'll have a dream about Ink Master every once in a while where
Wow.
I'm on it again or I'm supposed to go on it again. Whoops. I think I turned that off. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
Mhm.
touched this. These are my sons. I didn't know if something happened when I touched them. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think, like I said, I think it was more like the gravity of the whole thing made it
Mhm.
more than it should have been, you know?
It's a show. It's worldwide. Millions of
Yeah.
watch it. Yep.
Yeah, so that adds a little pressure. For me, it did at least. Then there's other people like Joey who won that year. He was in the military and, he slept in tents in Afghanistan and stuff like that. So he's like, this is nothing. You know what I mean? Like he was just like tough, like
Uh-huh.
legit tough, like
He
up
didn't
here,
even.
you know?
He didn't cry throughout the season. He was just so calm, so
Yeah,
collected.
yeah. I honestly think that his military background probably gave him quite an advantage, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's a mature guy. I think him and I were some of the oldest dudes there, you know. Um, and yeah, he just knew who he was, and like I said, sleep in Afghanistan in a tent, and then sleep
He'll
in
make
a
sure.
yeah, like nothing. Everything pales in comparison after that, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's
I would
like
I would imagine, you know.
me too. Oh my goodness.
I don't even know if he was in Afghanistan. I'm just throwing it out there, but he was somewhere else, with shit happening. So, yeah,
Yeah, you were, that's like your life, You could use lose your life in Afghanistan, in war.
yeah,
But Ink Master, you're just gonna lose some sleep. That's it.
yeah. You're just gonna lose some sleep, and yeah, and maybe a little self-respect.
Woo! The next one is.
Oh yeah, ES is also super cool dude. Um, I think, man, he's he was like at first I thought he was like kind of putting on a show. Like I'm like, man, are you really this like super cool like streetwise guy, And
Mhm,
he really was a super cool dude. Like, um, man, the more I think about this, the more I like kick myself in the ass too, because I was very helpful to people while we were on that show. I was like cutting my own throat half the time because I remember his when he came in, his machines really fucking sucked. They
mhm,
sucked pretty bad. And I can't remember if I fixed them for him a little bit or no, I let him borrow some of my
uh-huh,
stuff, I think. I'm pretty sure I let him borrow like good
mhm,
stuff. And that kind of unleashed the fury with ES because then he was like, oh shit, this is how nice tattooing can be, where I should have just been like, sucks to use those machines. Sorry, can't help you out. But it's just not me for one. And I wanted
mhm.
to nerd out. I wanted to nerd out about tattooing and tattoo machines and stuff like that. And man, he was just a good artist, like on paper even, just because he was a graffiti guy, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah,
yeah, he was sick with like the lettering and giving things like presents, Yeah, he's just natural talented guy. But yeah,
yeah.
he's awesome.
In season 9 we had made Rich.
He came back too.
Yep.
Oh, in the same one.
In the same season. Yep.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I'd have to watch those because that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Watch it.
Did
Season.
how did they do? How did they make it very far, or did they just get stomped?
You have to watch it.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh, you can't elaborate.
I can't elaborate because I'm gonna spoil it for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I probably won't watch it.
By the way, speaking of the tattoo machine, you guys did a challenge, right? Where you
Yeah.
guys had to build the machine.
Yeah, that was one
How
of the
was,
worst days of my life.
how was it?
I no, I hated it. I I I loved and hated it. When we had to build our own machine, I was pretty stoked because
Hmm.
I do that all the time. And they were set Safari machines, and I was pretty stoked on that because that's pretty much all I use, right?
Hmm.
And then he was there on top of it, which I thought was cool. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get to meet Set Safari and hopefully nerd out, which you don't get to. You speak briefly, and yeah, it sucked. That day really sucked. I'm trying to not drop so many F bombs for your YouTube channel. Um,
You can curse.
okay, yeah. Well, I know bleeping things out is hard in editing, but yeah, super stoked. And I get a guy who wanted it, um, like really. I think he wanted it like really visible, and I was like, dude, these are stupid. I was like, barcode tattoos are just stupid. Like, I was mad because I'm like, why are they bringing back this bullshit trend that is a joke now? You know what I mean? Like back in the day, if you saw a barcode on the back of the neck, you'd be like, ah, douchebag '90s tattoo, right?
Hmm.
And I was just mad that we had to like do them. I was like, these aren't even cool, and they're not smart. Like we're supposed to be ink masters or professionals at least. And all those little stupid numbers and then time and then they all bleed together, whatever. And so whatever. That's how it started for me with that whole thing. And then, I talked to the guy just to get it on his like inner arm. I was like, you can hide it that way. It's because it's a stupid tattoo, blah, blah, blah. And I get him all stenciled. And I don't think we had very much time to do it. I want to say it was like an hour and a half to build the machine and do the tattoo, maybe.
Oh
I
my.
can't really, I can't remember, which like no big deal, right? Um, I did it all, but like when I got to go and do the tattoo, I needed an armrest. Like, do you know what that is? Like, you have tattoos?
Yes, I have one.
Yeah, it's like it's just a piece of furniture that you like put your arm out, you lay back and it keeps people steady, you know. And I went and got one and I set it up and they're like, "No, you can't use that." And I was like, "What do you mean I can't use it? I need it to do this tattoo." And they're like, "We don't have enough for everybody, so you can't have one." And I was like, "What the fuck?" When I talked to you guys before this whole thing started, you told me you have everything I need because I was like, I didn't know what to pack. You know what I mean? Like, I would have packed every damn thing I had I known, it's gonna be like that. But so as a result, I couldn't use the stability of an armbar to hold this guy's arm in place. So I actually had to hold his arm and try to get done because at this point my time was running out. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit. Like I wasn't expecting to be told no, I can't use this basic commodity that we use every day in a tattoo shop,
Mm-hmm.
So I was pissed about that. And then yeah, and then just like I botched the tattoo like not like terribly, but enough to where it's like it's obvious when you screw up a barcode that you screwed up a barcode. It was one of those types of things where if like, he held his arm like this and they moved it a little bit, it'll like get all funky, because of where we put it, on top of the fact that I'm like holding him and trying to tattoo and get it done in a certain amount of time. With the machine, I never really, got to know. And this is all like excuses, but I've had time to think about it. Because, other people just nailed it. They're like, yeah, no problem. Ram, 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 ram. It looks great,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Well,
So
I'll
I
think
got told,
Tattoo because I think Tatu Baby was not able to make her own machine at the time, right?
yeah, Tattoo Baby and Allie
Mm-hmm.
both didn't do the challenge at all. And they said, oh, well, this puts you in the bottom for the day. And I was like, but they didn't put a machine together. They didn't even do anything. I was
Nothing.
like, and I'm like, so it would have been in my best interest to just sit on my hands and be like, I'll just wait till this one's over.
So,
You
like,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it was horse shit. Like it really was because they were telling you there's a basically like a three strikes you're out kind of thing. And I swear Tattoo Baby struck out six in the time that I did three, but they had brought her back from a previous season and
Mm-hmm.
just let her get away with it was just it was lopsided, man. It was lopsided. There ain't no denying it. There's too many weird things like with how that show ended up. Like I was just pissed. Like how do they actually tore their coils apart and had just a pile of crap sitting there for their tattoo machines. Like they had no idea how they worked. And I was like, how does that put me in the bottom that I knew what to do, did the thing without the equipment that you told me that I would have, and they're just like, well, they got nice tits or something. Is that what it is? Like that's not fair. You know what I mean? Like,
Unfair. You're right. Oh my
yeah, it
goodness.
was it was it was unfair. And then to have that all happen in front of a guy that I respected, being 𝚬𝚐𝚐, um, it was like one of those nightmares when you go to school in your underwear. It was like a real living, like I
Mm-hmm.
can't I can't believe this is happening to me right now kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like yeah, like that's probably the one thing that screwed with me the most was that whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
goodness. I can't imagine. You
yeah.
doing the actual barcode, going through it, then going down to the bottom just because, right?
Yeah, where it was like I obviously wasn't the bottom. I think people who don't play the game should be at the bottom.
To be the bottom.
You missed the round, like strike two or whatever. But
That's a bummer.
yeah, it sucked. It sucked. And
Yeah.
that's what I think that was like when I cried. I was so frustrated and tired and mad and that I just like, and you miss your kids and your dogs and your cats and all that shit too. And it all just like built up to where I was like, I really thought I went there to promote tattooing and not my own bullshit. Like I wasn't trying to be like, hey, I'm a rapper or I fucking got a nice ass or anything like that. I just wanted to be like, hey, it'll be nice to show people like what cool tattooing is or can be. And
Hmm.
then we have to do all this bullshit from back in the day that like isn't cool. Like Celtic tattoos aren't, to me, they're not cool. Barcodes aren't cool. Skin rips are stupid. You know, like all this stuff.
All
So
the things.
I was a ball of like frustration at that point. And it made me cry. Yeah, I cried.
And we saw it.
Yeah, millions and millions of people saw me cry, but I don't care. I don't think I ever, maybe but once or twice, like got some weird messages or comments about
Mhm.
being a little bitch or something like that. But most people were like really nice. And even like recently, didn't Netflix put Ink Master out, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
watched
so
Netflix
I was
again.
getting, yeah, I was getting all these messages from people out of the blue. I didn't know it was on again, or like the reruns. And people are like telling me like just to making sure I'm like okay and telling me to keep my chin up and all this stuff. And I'm like, do they know that this show was like going on 10 years ago?
10 years
Like,
ago.
yeah, and even at the time it was like it was more frustration, tears. It wasn't like, but it was nice. It was like kind of, it was nice to have people like that you don't even know take the time out of their day to write you and be like, hey man, you seem all right. And I hope everything's doing fine and stuff like that. Like that was, you know, if you gotta make lemons out of or lemonade out of lemons, like that's a cool thing that came out of crying on TV, you know? So
That's what's up. The next one is
yeah, it's Craig. Craig's awesome. Um, he got screwed too, man. Craig got screwed.
Woo!
Yeah. Well,
Elaborate.
our first tattoo we had to do, I'm pretty sure he did the best tattoo, hands down, easily without question. He did a really cool like buff eagle with like a football maybe or something. But it was just it was sick. It was like
Hmm.
oozing with style and it the anatomy was nice and it was tattooed real nice. And then Tattoo Baby does some like ugly gypsy tattoo with like a busted hand. It was just stupid. Like I hated that tattoo so much. I thought it was just like horse shit. Like there was some nice parts, but it was like holding a what do you call it, a crystal ball or I don't even know, maybe a cup of tea. I don't fucking remember.
Hmm.
But I remember the fingers are all jacked, and then like when they picked her tattoo over Craig's, I was just like, that's there again. Like that's added to that pile of frustration. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense. You guys obviously aren't looking at these two tattoos, but I think they wanted to give the returning person this like little knocked it out of the park
Hmm.
on her thing. You know, like it was all like this narrative, and I think that's all it was. They gave it to her because they wanted it to be like she's coming back with a vengeance. You know, like
That
where
narrative.
obviously Craig's really nice tattoo because man, that guy's just got like art skills and he's super like nice guy, soft spoken. Like I hope nobody says anything bad about Craig
Sorry
that
about
you
that.
interview.
My,
Oh,
my,
that's fine.
my ring light fell.
Oh shit.
Wait a sec. Let me fix that.
Hmm.
There you go. So yeah, yeah, he went back in season 6,
Oh, that I think I
right?
did. I do remember seeing something about that. I didn't watch it, but I think I saw him post about it or something.
He
And
went
he didn't. And how far did he make it? Did he at least make it to the end? You could tell me because I don't care.
final 4.
Oh, really? That's good for him.
Yep, he
Yep,
was really
that's
good.
awesome.
Mhm.
No, he is. He's just really good. Yep.
Yeah. Next one is.
It's Jackie. Once again, man, I sound like a broken record, but Jackie was awesome. She's super funny and just super fun to be around. And she's one of those people too, where like I haven't met anybody like, because I'm from the Midwest. I think she's from like Philadelphia or something,
Hmm.
right? I think. So she's got this like, I don't know, just this like fun personality I don't get around Illinois, you know? Like she was teaching me like about all their weird slang, like Joan, like this word Joan or John. It's like a word they use there, like Smurf, like everything's a Joan or like a John. It's like that shit, that thing. It's like this word that just applies to everything. And I was just cracking
Uh-huh.
up because she used it so like freely, you know.
John.
Um, Yeah, like them Jones or them Johns. Like, I guess it depends on how you say it. I think it's like John, like Jawn. That's a John or whatever. But she was cracking me up with that, and like she was just really like super fun to be around. Like we would, well, I'm trying to like think of like the right way to say anything. I don't want to say anything mean. Um,
Uh-huh.
no, well, I don't think it's a big surprise. She's gay. She's a lesbian.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
Told
so
me
yeah,
that.
I don't feel bad about saying anything like
Yeah.
that. But it was funny because one night we were having some beers, and the they were filming us like hanging out, and we decided to go into the hot tub together because we thought it'd be funny to like let's go get in the hot tub and like close the door and make people think like something weird's going on, but it's just like it was a joke, you know. And they were trying to like grill us about like, so what happened in there, and we're like, oh, I can't tell you. We were drinking beers and like farting in the hot tub, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was just super good time. But
Wait,
there again,
Chris, you went in the hot tub, no cameras.
no, there was cameras around, yeah, because it was like it was filming us like hanging out, you know, yeah.
Wow.
And I told her, I was like, Jackie, we should go and get in the hot tub and like close the door and be weird about it. And she's like, "Oh, that's a great idea." And we just drank Coors Lights and
Mm-hmm.
sat there and laughed and stuff, you know, because she's not half lesbian; she's a complete lesbian. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, that's what we thought would be so funny. You know what I mean? And it was hilarious.
To the production and
Yeah,
made them think, something's going on.
yeah, yeah, because they want that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, so what do you think about them?" You know, or like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But there again, Jackie's another instance where I shot myself in the foot because when we were supposed to do Celtic tattoos, she drew up something that was bad and she knew it was bad. And like I said, we were hanging out, we were buddying up. She's like, "What do you think I should do?" Because I think she had drawn this very big, elaborate, like Celtic dragon, and it looked like a lot of work and it
Made
wasn't,
house.
yeah,
Whoop, whoop.
it looked like a lot of work and it
Mm-hmm.
didn't look good. Just wasn't good because you don't have a lot of time. And I was like, well, what did they want? And she said he wanted like um, a Celtic uh, atomic symbol or something like that. And I was like, duh. I was like, that's easy. Just do a nice Celtic knot and then put the atoms around it or whatever. And I helped her. I helped her pretty much draw the whole thing, and it looked slick when she was done. And I think they even gave her kudos. I'm like, what a great idea. That's such a cool idea. And the whole time I'm like, man, that was my idea. I was just being nice, like I wish it, I was like, if I would have got that one, this is what I would have done. So it was like this little weird funnel because Jimmy was like telling me like, don't draw that. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'll keep it basic. And then I'm telling Jackie like, don't do that. You should
So
do this. And,
unfair.
yeah, and
The whole
I
thing.
think I think she had gotten some props for that design. I think there's some technical stuff they pooped on a little bit, but like they gave her some props on it. And the whole time I was just like, man, that sucks. I could have just not said shit and let her do some whack ass dragon on somebody's back, but I didn't. I just had to be like, hey, you should try something better, So yeah.
Well, she made it far.
Yeah, yeah, farther than me. And I guarantee if I would have let her do that dragon, she'd have been screwed.
The next one is
Oh yeah,
Jason Clay Dunn.
Jason Dunn. Yep, another nice guy. um, yeah, he was a nice guy, and we got along really good because that's who I am. You know what I mean? I don't like to like not get along with people. I figured my life will be better here if I like everybody and everybody likes me. So like
Mhm.
we just hit it off really good, and we had nights where we would jam and make up silly songs and stuff like that. And I kept up with him for a little while after the show. We talk every once in a while, and he even called me because he got to go on again sometime. Well, he won.
Yes, he
And
was
yeah,
5.
and I remember him calling me because he was having a little bit of trouble with just like people shitting on him for winning.
What?
Like, yeah, because people gave him a lot of shit because they thought he wasn't all he was cracked up to be, and that other people should have won. I don't even remember who he was like
Mm-hmm.
playing against when he won or whatever, but he was just saying how it sucked, and we were just talking to each other about how like you got to ignore all this social media noise and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that, and because it's all it is. It's not even real. It's like
He,
completely not. And you really learn that lesson after doing reality TV shows, right?
he deserved it though. That win, he was really good. I think.
Yeah, he was really good. I saw that tattoo that he did, and he got kind of screwed on that, where he started it on somebody and they bailed, so he had to start all over again. I
Mm-hmm.
remember that. I do remember that.
And made
And
says his final kiss was epic. Deserved to win. Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Final
it was good.
was epic. Deserved to win. Definitely.
Yeah, it was
Right?
like a new school. It was a new school tiger with somebody riding on it. It was awesome, man. I loved everything about that tattoo. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Jason Dunn's awesome, man. He's a really good artist and just a super sweet guy. And yeah, that's another person too. Where I wish I had the ability and the time to maintain relationships. I was just thinking about like that the other day with just people in general. I know all these great, awesome people, and there's just I think the older you get, the more you're like, wow, I just don't have the time to like be with all these great people that you meet, and like that sucks. He's like one of those types of dudes where like I wish I could, you know, spread myself around more for.
Made the comment finale.
What's that?
The finale piece. I think it was talking about the tattoo.
The one that Jason won with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Next one is
Oh yeah, this is Josh. Yeah. Once again, that's probably one of those like personality type clashes. I don't know how to give you good stuff without sounding like a dick, but Josh was like, he was really wishy-washy, and I don't want to make him sound like he's not a bad person. Like anybody on that show is not a bad person
elaborate.
unless unless dress up in blackface. Wink, wink, Oliver Peck.
Keep it raw, Chris.
Right. But Josh was like really. It depended on who he was talking to. You know what I mean? Like he would put on an air for like who he was around. And, around me, he seemed to be like, he was really respectful of like the time I put into tattooing and this, that, and the other thing. And like, we did have like common ground, but ultimately he was very, oh God, I wish I could think of a better term. He was a little weaselly. Okay.
You said that he was what?
He was kind of a little bit of a weaselly guy.
Elaborate.
I don't know, man. I just think he wasn't as genuine of a person as he could have been.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I'm trying to remember too, specifics, but like
But he played good, right? He was so good in the
he was
show.
really good at the game of Ink
The
Master.
game.
And yeah, and he was lucky, or not lucky, but he's skilled enough technically tattoo wise to where that helped get him along. Whereas like artistically, I wasn't a fan artistically, like it just wasn't my thing. Like he did a lot of copying things and making like Photoshop a lot of stuff together and recreating it really well and tattooing it really well. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it wasn't cool. I just thought it was like kind of barfy, really. But it's not like he's not doing good stuff. People like his stuff. It's almost like I would say it's like mustard. I think mustard is absolutely disgusting and shouldn't exist on the planet Earth, but I don't give a shit if other people like it. You know what I mean? It's just not my thing. And I think like his tattoo style was kind of like for me like mustard. It's just like I don't like I just don't like, well, it's not just him. I don't like realism. I don't like packing tattoos full of white ink for no reason when you know damn well that it's not going to look good in like a short amount of time, like 5 years at the most, stuff like that, like these fundamental things. Um, but and he was also like talking about like, promoting his rap career while we were there and how this would be a good launching point for it. And while that might be true, I just don't like that idea, the idea of that kind of stuff. Like, it's like, no, you should be here to like do a cool tattoo, like, but it was like, hidden agenda stuff. And he could, if I remember correctly, he could rap. But he was talking so much shit about like how
now
with that
doing music. Yep.
Yeah, and while he wasn't terrible, he was like more of a rehearsed rapper. But I think at one time he was talking smack about how he was good at freestyle rapping, and so I was being kind of a little bit of a weasel myself. So there's that. We were all hanging out and drinking one night after the show, and somebody there could freestyle rap really well, and I want to say it was ES, and even Jason Dunn like was really good at it. And I was like, oh, Josh, you're a rapper, you should totally like freestyle rap with these guys. And it put him on the spot so bad that like I said, I think it was more of like a good rehearsed rapper, to where like he kind of got like just stepped on, like as far as like this little sinister freestyle rap battle that I like made happen. And I was cracking up though. Like I thought it wasn't malicious. It was just like funny. It was just me kind of going like, see man, like you're not that great. So just settle down. You know what I mean? So yeah. So it was fun though.
Did you just say that someone was better than Josh at rapping?
Yeah, I want to say it was ES and Jason Dunn, because I got them all into this like sort of a rap battle. It was more just like, hey, they're gonna freestyle rap and we're gonna laugh and have a good time. But it was just funny because like when you claim to be like, oh man, I'm awesome, and then there's the other people that just like don't even like take it seriously and are really good at it. To me it was hilarious,
Oh my goodness! Wow.
There might even be a video of that on my YouTube channel of me filming him freestyle rapping with somebody else, and yeah,
I'll check it out definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't imagine Jason Dunn rapping.
Dude, he's really musical. He can like sing like really, really well, like powerful, like Journey, like Don't Stop Believing kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's got some pipes on him, and I think he used to be in bands and stuff. But yeah, he could sing really good. I think I have a video of him on there as well, singing, and yeah, just kind of hitting the numbers. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Next one is
Kyle Dunbar. That's a weird thing about Kyle that I still think about to this day is really cool. Is when I went to my like second or whatever callback for the auditions, and it was like towards the end of the day, and they're filtering everybody down. I'm sitting out in the lobby with this like Vanilla Ice looking dude, and I'm thinking like, man, this guy looks like such a tool. Right. And I was like, there ain't no way he's gonna make it, because I'm like, either him or I won't make it because we're both sitting right together. And this is after I saw so many people come in and out. I was like, there's no way that these two guys are gonna proceed together or go on further together. And yeah, I just thought it was like he looked like Vanilla Ice. Like that's not like he will tell you, yeah, I look like Vanilla Ice, and I like the Insane Clown Posse. Like he knows that he's got this look. Um, so I'm not digging on Kyle at all because Kyle's a pretty cool dude. Um, and like he's super tattoo like dude. Like he's out there doing it. He's traveling. I think he has a RV and shit. I don't know if he settled down again or whatever, but I know he's always like out doing conventions and just hitting it hard. Where I can't do that stuff. I just don't like it. So yeah, we're sitting there, and then after it's all said and done, we do the show. I get along with him really good because we have like similar interests. Like we both loved like Faith No More, and we're just like '90s guys. You know what I mean? We're both like, at the time we're the same age. Well, we're still the same age now, but hell of a lot older. Uh, but then to go to the very end of the show and be on the last episode together, I thought
Uh-huh.
there was just something really weird about that. You know what I mean? Like, why did I meet you at the beginning, and then like when it all came around to the very end, we're like in the same scenario. You know what I mean? Like it was just really
Hmm.
odd that like it just seemed very statistically like
Wait,
impossible.
speaking of the live finale with you and Kyle, how was that?
It
Is it
was
hard?
really
Because
well, the first
more
part.
difficult.
No, well, it was really weird for me because I see that's another thing where I think like Ink Master's got something funky going on because why was I even there? Like I'm not saying I'm not like good enough to be there or anything, but why me? Like I was so like lost in the shuffle, and then I'm on the finale over a dude like Craig or well pretty much Craig. He was like the one guy I thought would be one of the like the hardest contenders. And I'm just like, why am I getting to do this tattoo? Like it's it should be Craig, Like I was just like really baffled that it was me at all. Like I could have seen anybody else, Jackie or uh I can't really remember at the point like or at this point like who got kicked off. But I just thought that was weird. But I was also like, oh, it's pretty awesome because
Yeah.
whether you thought you were going to do it or not, the producer said, well, have a nice drawing of something that you would want to do on the finale, have something ready. And I was like, I'm going to draw what I think is just like the coolest, sensible, professional tattoo that I could do in that amount of time, you know, um, will, the powers that be willing for it to happen. Of course, I was like, I had a cool drawing ready, And then when they told me the next day that it was going to be me, I was just like, okay. It was like awesome.
Was it more
Like
difficult tattooing live because people are looking at you?
no, because you're tattooing before anybody shows up.
Mm-hmm.
You're finishing the tattoo live, but like we were just in this weird plexiglass box, just tattooing next to each other, just kind of like working in a shop, just like talking to each other and hanging
Mm-hmm.
out. That's what that was nice, to have that part of tattooing because well, that's the other. Just to go back a little bit is another hard part about tattooing there is like you can't aside from the small kids bed I slept in and the hours and not sleeping, like you couldn't listen to music. And for me, that's like really hard. I tattoo to music. I mean,
Uh-huh.
in a weird way, like, like if there's a nice rhythm, I'll use that rhythm while I tattoo. And that's not like some hippie shit or anything like that.
The
It's
buzzing.
just, yeah, because, to pack in color nicely, there is a rhythm, that you need to be consistent to make something, solid all across the board. And I use music to my advantage, or I take advantage of music that way when I tattoo. And
Mm-hmm.
to not have any music at all and have it be like really quiet or hearing like other people's conversations in the other little booths and stuff, it was just
I
really like, it was surreal. It was like, yeah, that whole thing, like, was very dreamlike. um, but yeah, it sucked not having music. But that's what I'm saying. It was nice in the end, tattooing with Kyle, feeling like you're in a little tattoo shop in there, you know. And on top of the fact that like the night before, you know, I was hanging out with him in his hotel room, and he was working on the artwork for his thing, and he's like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, what did you draw?" I was like, "Not that matters, but I drew this." And he's like, "Oh man, that's awesome." He's like, "Man, mine sucks. Mine's fucking stupid," and all this. I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I've seen you tattoo. I'm sure you're gonna make it work somehow." You know what I mean? I think he even said he practiced the tattoo, like, you know, in real life or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe he even said he already did the tattoo just to like get it right. Um, but had seen his design and what I had, um, I immediately was like, "Oh man, mine's awesome." This, you know, his is just once again, it's mustard. There's shit I don't like about tattooing. You know, it wasn't a bad tattoo, just wasn't rad.
Sparkle.
Like yeah, it wasn't cool like the thing I drew because I drew a cool mongoose and a cobra
Uh-huh.
fighting because I thought it was cool. Like it was about struggle, and you know the whole thing was like about a competition, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just neat to do. You can make something interact and have like layers and flow and like all the stuff they wanted from throughout the show. Um, so when we were tattooing, I was like super confident that I was like doing the best tattoo. I was like, this is easy. I got this in the bag. I didn't know that it was also it was you were being voted on Twitter.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I didn't know to. I don't do Twitter for one. I have a Twitter account. I think they made me make one back then. I still have it,
Mhm.
but I don't really just. I just don't get it. I'm visual. And I like Instagram. You just see pictures and you don't see anybody's opinions or nothing.
Exactly.
Um,
Because Twitter is like a diary or something.
yeah, it's. I just don't. It's never got me. It's mustard. Um, but I knew I was screwed once I found that out because I was like, well, I wasn't on the show as long as Kyle was, and he's like this handsome dude, and he was on there longer, and like got in people's faces and stuff. Like he made more of an impression than I did. So I was like, oh, no matter how good this tattoo is, if it's based on a popularity contest at that point, you know, well, I'm not as popular as Kyle, so it's just like simple math, really. And sure enough, that's like he did win, but he would tell you to this day, and I'm not talking shit, that I totally kicked his ass. You know,
Wow.
I smoked
Mhm.
his tattoo. It's just obvious, you know what I mean? Um,
Dang.
but it sucked too because like I thought like maybe we'd be getting judged by the judges, and it was just like,
But it's actually the fans, not the.
yeah, yeah, but they weren't looking at the tattoo, obviously, because I mean I don't think you got to be a fucking rocket scientist to know. Like I totally crushed his tattoo. Like there's no doubt about it.
Dang.
But in that respect, I consider myself a big winner because I just wanted to do something awesome on television in front
Mm-hmm.
of millions of people, and to get that opportunity to go in there and just be like, you know, and do it was awesome for me. I was like, I basically won. I was like, honestly, I don't know if I want to go back again next year. I don't know if I can handle it, you know. But at the time, I was like, I had time to think about it, and I was like, if I did get to go back, I would not take it seriously whatsoever, like like at all. And I think that
Oh
was big.
yeah, that's what you said. I remember you were like, this time next season, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
be
I just
just about it, right?
yeah, I take a more Buddhist approach and be like, I have no desire here. I'm just gonna do
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you know.
Chill.
So, because then once you realize it's all bullshit, you know, you're like, wow, I really put too much, you know, of this into bullshit, you know, and that's what makes you mad too, because you're like, I put way too much emotion and and soul into something that has neither one. It has neither soul or emotion, and that's
Mm-hmm.
reality
Yeah,
television. You know what I mean?
game. Playing the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I gave, but it wasn't reciprocated, you know. So
Exactly. The
yeah.
next is.
Oh God. All right. So like that's completely entirely two different worlds. But I'll tell you this thing, and this is why Tattoo Baby gives me the heebie-jeebies so bad.
Woo!
This is about
Elaborate.
the best. This is about the best dirt you'll get out of me. But whenever that lady drinks a Coca-Cola, a can of
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola, she'll take it and she'll swish it in her mouth before she swallows it. Like Coca-Cola, dude, like inebriating every little particle of your teeth. Like, who does that and why? It was disgusting. It freaked me out. Man, it makes the hair on my neck stand up. Because you just think about like people can like remove wax from floors with Coca-Cola, and she's swishing it around her mouth like it's like Listerine or something. It was it was just so wrong, dude. It was so wrong.
I can't, Chris. You're so funny.
I
Anything you want to add to Tatu Baby?
think she's whack, dude. Honestly, she's bunk. She can do nice tattoos, obviously, but I think that whole thing, like, to be crude, I don't give a shit. It was a tits and ass thing primarily, and like I said, they said three strikes you're out. She screwed up so many times that it didn't even matter. You know what I mean? Because she came back last time, so it's like there's that investment, and she's attractive to some people, and and yes, she did okay tattoos, but like there was so many other people that I thought were better. I thought, yeah, I think she's also kind of up her own butt, dude. I think she likes her own farts. You know what I mean? Like, just one of those things. Yeah, like, yeah, she's one of the, yeah,
They favored her, like the judges,
yeah. And there again, man, like
right?
she might be the world's greatest saint, but I'm probably just jaded because of how like off balance it was. That's all. You know what I mean? I would never want to say that like she's a horrible person, other than the Coca-Cola thing is foul. But I don't know beyond that. I just think that you know,
Yeah, as a mature
yeah,
person, like, we should
yeah.
be, just chill, relax, have
Because
fun.
didn't she get to go back even like another time, right?
I'm not sure. I think this is her last one. Maybe in Ink Master Angels.
I don't know. For some reason I thought she would like went back again. I don't know, but yeah, even still, no, because she was like, oh, she was a finalist on this one, wasn't it? The one I was in.
Hmm?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's probably all I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Next one is.
It's Jimmy. I was fortunate enough to like be surprised when I saw Jimmy was on the show because they don't you don't meet anybody until the first day, like when you actually got to go do something. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I got on the bus and I saw it was Jimmy, because I had known him, like we're not like best friends by any means, but like at tattoo conventions and being like '90s guys. And at the time I was kind of a new school tattoo artist, and he definitely was. He was like everybody knew who Jimmy Litwalk was, and I saw him on the bus. I was like, oh hell yeah, somebody I know! Yay! Like, hi Jimmy, how's it been? Like, it took
Mm-hmm.
the pressure off of like new kid at school, kind of thing. To where like when I saw him, it was like
He was like
pleasant. But like,
the new school guy, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
and like I said, we were more acquaintances, but it's just nice to see a familiar face. And he's just as cool as he looks. Like he really is. He's just as cool. Like I actually learned a lot from Jimmy on
Mhm.
that show, and some of it was even just like because he talks to everybody. Like he doesn't give a shit. Like he'll go up to anybody that he thinks is cool or awesome or that can like teach him something, and he won't beat around the bush. Like he'll be like, "There's that badass. I'm gonna go talk to him because I want to know why he's a badass." And
Wow, that's what's up.
and yeah, and that's like kind of what he told me. He's like, don't just like be polite and sit back in the cut. Like if he's like, if you get to go do something, go do something. If you get to meet somebody cool, talk to them, and like you know,
And
get something from them in an honest way. Like so, like that was super cool. Yeah, he's just a cool guy, dude. Like I like how, and he's quick too. I think I don't know if he got like picked on when he was a kid because he is just so quick to like shit right back in your face if you give him shit like to
mhm.
where it's like it's impressive. You know what I mean? Like, man, that's pretty good. It's admirable trait. Like, Yeah, so he's just as cool as he looks.
I just felt bad for him because they made him wear like a polo every episode.
Yeah, they do that. It's weird. Yeah. I remember one time I ran into him at a convention and I'm wearing one right now. And he's like, "Oh, you're stealing my my wardrobe." And I was like, "Yeah." We're just making fun of the fact that they made him wear those. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was pretty funny.
The next one is
Joey Hamilton. He's an awesome dude. I'm really bad at shitting on people. Because I can't with him. Yeah, Joey won for a reason. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was because he was the best tattooer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great tattooer. He wasn't one of the best ones there by a long shot, but he was the best contender for sure. He was the best. He was more designed to win that show than most people on the show. Like I said, and I already talked about it, like his military background. He was just. I think he'd already done television too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. I think. Oh, this is my dog here.
Oh, hey, doggy. Cute. What kind of dog is it?
She's a mutt, but I think she's a foxhound or like a beagle mixed with something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
But you want to add Joey?
Yeah, like I said, man, I think he was just a smart competitor in the show. Like, he didn't try to do crazy stuff. He did what they told him, and he did it just good enough more often than anybody else. He was more consistent, and
he knows how to play the game.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think his biggest decision on how to play it was just to do everything like just correct, like the dogs are messing everything up. Yeah, he wasn't trying to be flashy or work out of his realm of abilities. No, not right now. This dog is totally wanting to play.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Next one is?
Yeah, that guy sucks, dude. Oliver Peck, I'm not a fan. He's mustard.
Why? Elaborate.
Dude, I don't know, man. They were totally like shitty to me. And this is the only theory I can think about him and Dave, because they like just were kind of dicks. And I think it's because, and I'm probably wrong, this is all just me guessing. I'm very tall, and at the time I was very big. Like, I was like powerlifting back then, so I just looked like this big oafy guy, which I am, and it's fine. But I think, like, since they're smaller people, they just automatically smaller in stature. They're very short. Like, him and Dave are very, like, I carry them both over my shoulder, small. That I wondered if that was part of why they would like not really give me the time of day, because they just probably got shit on by some big dude in school or something like that. Where I was like genuinely a nice person, but yeah, like they weren't nice.
Wow.
Which they're not supposed to be nice, but I mean, I just got a weird vibe beyond the whole like judges and contestants thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next one is?
Now, oddly enough, Chris was the opposite. I was really thinking that he would be like the jerk, but he was actually the nicest one, like, on there, as far as I'm concerned, like to me, there was times where he said that he's like, "Well, I'm rooting for you," because I think we just connected on a level of just like past tattooers and stuff, just the stuff we talked about.
Facts. Made Rich says facts.
Yeah, it's true. He was the nicest one to me. And there again, I think he knows when to turn on and off the being a jerk judge or whatever. But yeah, like he actually talked to me, where the other two, they were just like whatever,
Wow.
One sentence,
because in some Ink Master that I interviewed, some of them says that Oliver was good, Chris was bad. So it's nice to, get your perspective about the judges.
Yeah, I think too, though, I was like, there was a point where when we were filming, you just get really frustrated with the filming part. Like, you would have to stand there and when they would critique you at the end of a challenge or whatever, and you had to stand there for hours and
Third, yeah.
the on concrete floors, and I was wearing like Chuck Taylor's, like not the best shoes, and
Like for
I had
hours, yep.
yeah, and I was really thirsty and wanted water. I kind of threw a little fit because I was just so pissed because I know there's a room of people listening to everything you say. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, why is nobody bringing me a fucking glass of water? It's like, I just want to drink. We've been standing here. And then you realize like, oh, they're doing it on purpose, like
Mm-hmm.
they want you to get to that point, like where I got. So
Like
I
push
had,
or something.
yeah, I had said some really nasty stuff. And I wonder if that might have kind of set the tone for how they thought of me, though. But it was really just because I was an aggravated baby. But I was saying like gnarly shit, um, like fucking your grandma and like shit, like I wasn't holding back. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was just, yeah, um,
Oh my goodness. It's so funny.
yeah. But then I had said like, I remember one time I had said something that I probably shouldn't have about Oliver, and it was a dumb joke I made about um he shit on one of my tattoos, and then later on we are talking shit with everybody upstairs or whatever. I was like, yeah, you know, he said something about something's wrong with my tattoos, and then I said, well, unfortunately, not all impediments can be covered with a toothpick, um, because he's obviously got a weird little lisp going on that I think he's filling the void with that toothpick, and I think that kind of probably I was a little too snarky in that. It probably set the tone bad for him. So there's my
Wow.
two theories. I'm either really big or because I said this really gnarly shit. And
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So
And the last one is
yeah, dude, he's just a stupid LA rock star guy. He's good at the guitar though. I'll give him that much. But everything else, I don't know. He's plastic.
woo!
But there again,
The black.
I he's probably the greatest guy in the world, but he just he was just cheesy, and like the way he was like he put himself up like, well, I'm a ladies man, and if you don't do things to compliment her body, I'm gonna get mad. It's just like, I get it, dude, shut up. Like, yes, you're a ladies man, obviously. You're a fucking good looking dude, and some of the biggest bands in the world. Like, just come down to earth a little bit and hang out with me, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Bring it.
it's two different worlds. I'm from the cornfields of Illinois. Of course, like, we're not going to get along, and of course I think that he's just lame, except for, man, what he did on that Chili Pepper album was really good. Tasty guitar playing on that one
Yeah,
hot minute.
popular. He's this and that.
I
But
was really worried that when he got to be the Chili Peppers guitar player that he'd screw it up, but he actually didn't. I think he was the the better part of that record, honestly. Even though he's kind of a tool, but whatever. So there you go. Little teaspoon of sugar for your medicine to go down.
well, congrats because you finished the roll call, Ink Master roll call, talking about the cast and the judges.
Yeah, I did good. I got them all right.
Woo, woo, woo. Do you have like behind the scenes tea and secrets that you want to share with us?
Um, I was sequestered to a hotel room for like 3 days before the show started, and you go kind of like stir crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and um,
No phones?
no, you could like call home and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, but you couldn't talk about certain things, and you couldn't leave your room. Like, they'd escort you to like the gym, but like I was like, dude, I want to go walk around, you know, and see what's going on in New Jersey or whatever, but you just couldn't. And so you just got a little like, I got a little cagey. I tried drawing and all that stuff, but man, I beat off so much while I was in that room. Like, because I was so bored. I was just like masturbating a lot. And I was just like, and I thought it would be funny to masturbate in front of the mirror on the door.
Uh-huh.
Just because I'm like, I've never actually seen myself, cross the finish line. I'm curious, you know what I mean? Probably not a good idea. It's definitely not a good idea. But
Yeah.
I did, and then I was a total piece of shit about it. I just let it rip on the fucking carpet of the hotel room. And then not 3 minutes later, there's a knock on my door.
Oh my
And
God.
at the time, I had a big beard. I looked like this crazy, like, fucking creep, which I was at the time. I mean, obviously, I just told you, I beat off everywhere. But I get a knock on the door unannounced and no warning at all. And it's all like the head honchos of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think, they're like, oh, we're meeting all of the people today. And I was like, what do you want? And I was still like flush in the face.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, oh, we just want to come in and talk to you and like look over the merchandise, basically.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's when they kind of pick you apart. They come in and they're like, I want his beard to be cut shorter. They made me look like a Spanish soap star or something. Like, it was just this terrible, like, this lady didn't know what she was doing. But nonetheless, on their way into my room, they all pretty much walked through my ejaculate, which, looking in hindsight, I'm glad that happened.
Oh my goodness, Chris. That's so funny. That's like one of the funniest behind that we heard.
Other than that, I mean, just getting pissed off. That's about it. And just, the other frustrating things was being told to be, you're supposed to be an ink master, but then making you do things that a conscious professional wouldn't do. Like one day we had to do garter belts around like these girls' legs in a very short amount of time. And it was like, I felt really wrong for having to grind through on someone that much, whereas like if it was my professional opinion and you came in and someone's like, hey, can you do a garter belt around my leg in 3 hours? They're like, no, man, like we should break that up into like 2 shots, or at least say it'll take 5 or 6 hours, So there was a lot of times where like you'd be having to make these decisions that I didn't think were professional decisions, like stupid tattoos, like just stuff like that.
They made you do it for like a few hours. That's it. For like 2
Yeah,
hours, an hour.
yeah. And there's a lot of things like we had to like laser torch a grill of a car, which I was on Rich's team, and Maddie was also on that team. I think we did a good job. Like we made a consciously good decision. The design was nice, and Rich was like totally into just like doing the cutting, which was a lot of work, and they didn't give us like a lot of instruction. Like even the guy who instructed us was like, y'all should be like, a 6-hour course before you handle these torches that can just cut your face off like a lightsaber, right? But then and when it was all said and done, the one that they picked was because a football player was there and he liked flames, so that he picked the car that had flames, just because I like flames. It was like a Simpsons moment, you know what I mean? Like just this, like, what do you even fucking know? You know what I mean?
They made him
And
the winner, basically.
yeah, that football player, man, that was stupid. Well, he came out when he came out, they're like, and the special guest judge. You're like, ooh, who's it gonna be? And they're like, so and so. I don't even remember his name. And I was just like looking around like, who's that? And they actually wanted us to retake the whole thing because I was so like unenthusiastic about it because I had no clue who he was, And then they're like, so and so from the whatever. I don't even know sports teams, dude.
Or something.
Yeah, they wanted you to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it's him. Holy shit, what are we gonna do? So that's what I did the next time, and I just went like this. I was going, football, you guys, football.
But
I just kept saying football over and over again. because I thought it was funny because it was just stupid. And then like the meatheads like trying to tell me about designs or whatever, and when it all boils down to it, like he's just like, I think fire's cool. It's just like, okay, why not? Fire's cool. All right, I get it. Just stuff like that. Just like little stupid,
Like
just stupid things.
unfair stuff,
Yeah,
right? In
yeah.
your
There's so many of us stupid assholes out there.
well, do you have anything to plug? Like what you're doing now?
Actually, yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I am currently making a sci-fi show.
Woo!
Yeah, that should be out around July. I'm hoping. And it's been a lot of work, and I think it's interesting, and people should go check it out. It's called
Mm-hmm.
Worm Drive. I have a YouTube channel that has nobody on it yet because we just built it.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to that point where we're almost ready to finish the show and put it on there. But it's going to be like a choose your own adventure book, which sucks because it's been done recently by a very famous goddamn YouTuber. But whatever. Ours is good. It's just me and my friend. We built everything out of trash. We have an actual like set for the spaceship. We've been making like the little models for the ships. Actually, here's one right here.
Woo! Can we
This
see?
is, let's see here. Yeah, that's our ship right there.
Wow, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Like a Star Wars ship.
Yeah, but it's also like we're trying to make it look good, but not like we're not trying to make it look really good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because we're two grown guys with businesses and kids. Like we get together every Saturday, and we've been working on this thing for a long time, and we're doing pretty much everything. I'm doing all the editing and the music and all that stuff myself. And it's really only because it's fun. Like
Like
we're only doing it because it's fun to do, and it's better than wasting your time. Wasting your time. You know what I mean? It's just, we're friends from like junior high, and we get to play with toys every weekend together. And I think it shows in the stupid show because we're ad-libbing everything. We're
mm-hmm.
painting ourselves into corners. We're making up the most of the story on the spot, and then if it trips over itself, we have to figure out how to fix it. And that's what makes it fun. And it's super stupid. It's almost like Doctor Who and Ren and Stimpy in space. That's basically what it is.
Mixture of both.
Yeah, if you go to the channel, you can actually watch the intro, and it's stupid. Yeah,
I like it. Actually, I'll put the description on this YouTube video.
oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But we'll be promoting it more soon, so yeah, it'll be awesome.
We're excited.
Other than that, I mean, at this point, thanks to Ink Master, partially is if you just look up my name if you want to do something with a tattoo,
Mm-hmm.
just I'll come up and you'll be able to figure out how to get a hold of me. But
would you come back if they ask you to?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm too old. I'm too broken. I mean, over the last couple of years, man. I mean, I'm 46, which isn't like old, but man, it's been hitting me kind of hard. I got diagnosed with diabetes a couple of years ago, so like I've had some like weird things with that, my foot, I had a big major foot surgery. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have a handicap placard in my car because I'm officially handicapped now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's fine, dude. Like I don't care. Like when I was going to the doctor, I'd see people with like no legs or arms or
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I'm like, I can't. This nothing like that. You know what I mean? But as far as like being comfortable and like doing a good job, I just don't think I could. If I could
Like you just
sleep in my own bed and listen to clutch records while I tattooed, I would probably win. But no, I just can't put up with it.
mm-hmm.
And there's the pettiness of them trying to pit you against other people when
Like
it's art. When it's art, like
mm-hmm.
after the fact, I was like, man, I don't think art should be a competitive sport. It's just I don't think it's meant for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be like what do you call this? Like the actual tattoo And
Yeah,
that's
it should just be. Yeah, it should just let. They should just let it be. Not make it a competition. Just be good people, everybody.
exactly right. Be good
Yep.
people.
Just yeah. I think if I could say anything, if I get on any preachy shit, I would like to stress. I would like to ask people what their definition of liberty is. And
Ooh.
to well, to me, liberty is getting to do what you want in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you're not hurting anyone else, and nobody can tell you different. And I think that that is a foundational part of this country, and that people should learn to actually fucking live up to that stuff. So if you want to like fuck someone a certain way, or fall in love, or look, or do something a certain way that nobody else likes, fine. You know what I mean? Just, you know, people need to be, I think we need to care. We stop giving a shit about stuff that you shouldn't give a shit about. You
Exactly.
know?
I agree.
Yeah. I really wish that that would happen. So if someone said to me like, blah, 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 kids and homosexuality, what's your thing? I'd be like, I don't give a shit. You know, I wish
Yeah.
everybody just didn't give a shit, you know, just, but if
Just go.
someone's like,
Yep.
what's your opinion on the, the super murderer cult? I'd be like, well, we should blow those fuckers up.
Oh,
I Yeah, that's all the high horse that I got. That's all I got. I just want people to leave everybody alone and be nice to each other. That's all.
what's up? Yep.
Chris May over and out.
You're right. Well, I have no more questions for you, Chris.
All
And
right,
thank you
man.
for taking the time to talk to me.
No, it was fun. Like I said, I never really talked about the show other than people asking me generally about it. But like, it was actually kind of cathartic, maybe, in its own way. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, thank you for taking the time, and
Yeah.
I'll see you when I see you.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, guys, this is going on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you very much. Keep watching. More interviews to come. Thank you, guys.